What's up guys, today we're going to be talking about painting in grayscale. So what grayscale means is it's pretty much in the name, there are no colors involved. Basically you're picking from a range of values between pure black and pure white and you're rendering something out based on those values. So that's what I'm going to show you guys in this video, how you can do some grayscale painting yourself and how you can start implementing this into your learning process. Now when I first started learning how to draw, I was actually doing exclusively traditional art, and to build the foundation that I needed in order to progress onto painting and using colors and things like that, I was doing a lot of black and white sketches in graphite. That process really helped me understand how value works in different lighting scenarios and how to render things so that they look 3D, and I think that translated directly into some of my work with color later on. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this by doing a quick grayscale portrait, and then throughout this process I'll tell you guys a little bit more about why you should be doing this and some of the things that it can help you achieve. So let's get started. Alright, so now that I've gotten the sketch down, I can start getting into the rendering process a little bit, and the rendering is going to be very simple. We're just moving from the top of the slider down to the bottom of the slider. We're not worrying at all about the hue or the saturation, so you can really focus on just one single thing. So this process is very similar to just sketching with graphite on paper, except we're doing this digitally, so it's going to save us a lot of time and it's going to save us some trees. Okay, so you see that was very quick. That was about 5 minutes and we got a basic sense of the values down. Now the reason that was so quick is because we are just focused exclusively on the values. And if you're somebody who, if you're rendering out an illustration, you find that your colors or your lighting is looking a little bit flat as opposed to three-dimensional, this is something that's gonna really help you guys, because you want to have a good understanding of values before you start approaching all the different colors. Because the thing with digital art and art in general is just that you want to take things one step at a time. You want to learn one thing at a time. You don't want to get yourself way too overwhelmed with all the knowledge that there is about all these different topics. Like if you're jumping into art fresh without any knowledge, there's so many different things. There's perspective, there's anatomy, there's color theory, there's lighting, there's all of these things that all come together to make you a good artist. So you have to really take things one step at a time. If you overwhelm yourself, chances are you're not going to be too happy with your work and you're going to have a hard time learning what it is that you need to learn. So now let's go back into this piece and flesh it out a little bit. And this is just a very calming and satisfying process because you're not worried about the colors at all. You know, you can just kind of turn your brain off and only focus on the values that you see in the reference image. So the reason that I thought this video was important to make is because I was seeing people struggling with applying colors onto their illustrations, and where a lot of people have the most trouble is understanding where to push the darks and where to really pull the lights. And sometimes, you know, if you're drawing something without good knowledge of values and how values transition into one another, your drawings might end up looking flat as opposed to three-dimensional. I mean, like really understanding values is such a key component in any drawing. You know, it doesn't matter if you're painting with or without colors, values are essential to any painting that you make. Now we're getting into the details a little bit, but you can still see everything becomes readable based on the values that you actually choose for each part of the painting. You can say a lot with values and values only. Even if you think you are an intermediate artist, it never hurts to go back and brush up on your values once in a while. And you know what the good thing is about this? You don't have to have a digital art tablet to be able to do this. You could just as easily do this with pencil and paper. It might just take a little bit longer, but it's the exact same process. And that's actually how I started learning how to draw. Now, if you try this method and you happen to find it very difficult, more so than painting with colors, then that probably means there's a bit of a hole in your knowledge with values, and you definitely want to patch that up. I really think that being able to paint and draw in black and white is one of the first foundational steps. It's one of the most important steps to becoming an effective artist. Also, when you're trying to do this kind of a thing, especially on digital, try to avoid pure blacks. And I would say this goes for even, colored paintings as well. Just like always try to avoid going down all the way to the bottom of the darkest possible color, because especially on digital, it just seems very jarring when you go super, super dark. Okay, there we go. It's been about 15 minutes. Here's the finished product. That was very, very fast. And this was a really, really fun process to go through again. And I think, if you are a beginner, again, like I said throughout this video, if you're a beginner and you don't really know where to start and you're having trouble rendering out your paintings and things are looking flat, this is a great way to start practicing. Because, if you go to any kind of an art school, this should be one of the first things that they're going to try to teach you, which is understanding grayscale and value. And this is something that you want to get down before you start moving on to the more complex stuff like saturation, hue, color theory, all that madness. But yeah, I just wanted to put this video out there because nowadays there's so much information online. We don't really know where to start anymore. So, if you're a beginner, you're trying to get into a little bit more rendering, you're trying to develop that skill set, drawing and painting in grayscale is the right place to start. And even if you are a more experienced artist, it never hurts to take it all back down a notch and see where you're at with your fundamentals every once in a while. So there it is. This is why you guys should try practicing drawing and painting in grayscale. This is going to help you understand values so much better. And this is going to translate directly later on into when you're painting with colors. You're going to have a better understanding of how to use different values with the different saturation levels and things like that in order to convey better form. But yeah, there's that super important skill that I think everybody should be aware of and everybody should practice. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Yeah, it was nice to revisit this. I haven't done grayscale paintings in a long time now. I still got it. But yeah, this is definitely a skill that, when you have it, it's like riding a bike. You can just jump back in at any time. Doesn't really take any brain power, which is perfect for me because I'm stupid.